Yeah, basically, from a very young age I decided that there was one route I wanted to take, and that was to be outdoors amongst animals, and didn't really bother me at that age what route I was going to take. I was just very lucky that my career took off, and I went and became a professional jockey. But ever before that, I grew up traveling around the countryside with my dad, breeding horses and covering mares and going to different stallions. And to this day I'm a grown man now, and my fondest memories are of when we were pitched up in the car driving around. Yeah, it's in the blood, but you must remember, my dad was a mechanic and my mum is a nurse, but somewhere deep in our DNA there's horses there. My great-great-granduncle showed horses in the RDS so many generations ago, and maybe it may skip a generation in between, but it eventually comes back. I don't think it's going to skip a generation in my house. They're quite keen, and again, they're going to the RDS this year and kind of compete up there. And this morning we were in Gordon Elliott's and they rode out race horses, and I don't really care what route they take, but I hope as time goes by they will cherish them memories, and it'll give them a grounding and a footing for them to have a good work ethic. You must remember, we can't just throw the tennis rackets or the hurleys into the corner. When you have horses, they need to be looked after and groomed and fed and bedded down and mucked out, and it's just a marvellous way for me to spend time with my kids and for them to grow up. With horse racing and with breeding and with riding, it's a hobby. Sometimes it's a vocation. Then people are from the depths of Kerry to the tip top of Donegal, and that is the beauty of it. You pull into a stud, there's people from Donegal there, there's people from Kerry, there's people from Wicklow, every part of the country, from top to bottom, from side to side, and everywhere in between. We travel all over the country to cover mares, or going racing, and whether it's competing on race courses or whether it's trying to produce the next generation. We'll go to County Meath to sell them, County Kildare to sell them. Kilkenny Goffs now have a marvellous, or Goresbridge now have a marvellous sale down there. And so recently at the Hay Festival I bumped into the author of Warhorse, Michael Morpurgo, and the one question he had for me was, how are the Irish so good at horses? How are they so good at riding them, handling them, breeding them, training them? And I didn't have the answer, because it's not something that we can find, because it's so deep inside us, and it comes over time, and it'll continue over time. And it's something that we need to cherish, and we need to hold dear to ourselves what we have. And I have had the pleasure of traveling the world as a jockey, through sales companies, different reasons, and it always comes down to the Irish. Whether it be America, France, worldwide, Czech Republic, no matter where there is horse racing, there will be a connection to Ireland in them countries. And we are so well respected, and we are so highly regarded all over the world through horses. And it's so far back, let it be 1752, when Blake and O'Callaghan decided one day to have a race across country from Butterfint to Doneraile, steeple to steeple, and we ended up with this marvellous sport, and let's hope it'll go on for another couple of 100 years, and let my kids and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren have the pleasure that we have all experienced over the years. Yeah, so when you travel, when I was lucky enough to travel to different countries to ride, and an Irish person is upgraded immediately when it comes to riding horses, or whether it's training them or even looking after them. They're just instantly upgraded once you're Irish. Yeah, I'm extremely proud to be asked that, that my career has put me in a position to be able to speak so highly of our sport and share the experiences that I've had and share the knowledge that I would hope to pass on to the next generation, and they'll pass on again. And the knowledge that I have received from the generations before us. And that makes me proud. It makes me proud to be Irish. It makes me proud to be involved in such a marvellous sport. I suppose the main reason we should be so proud of Irish racing is we're winners. We're very, very good at it. Worldwide, when we compete, we win. And I think when in a sport and an industry that we can showcase our very small country in such a huge manner, we should always be very proud of the people to take part in it. I suppose our industry is open to everyone. It's open to men, women, young, old, and again, we see our race courses. Galway's in the middle of the city, but it brings such a rural community in, and again in Leopardstown the very same. All over the country we have race courses right in the middle of the city, where the city joins the countryside, and both can connect and both can enjoy such a marvellous, day out experience on the same level. It's very humbling to see. I think the most important thing that race has given me is a good way of life. I have a great mixture, as I said, between countryside and town and city life. You get to meet so many interesting and intelligent people the whole way through, and it's just a marvellous way to earn a living.